Chapter 1. Your organization deserves the success that comes with getting rid of the unnecessarily lengthy and theoretical business strategies. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Your organization deserves the success that comes with getting rid of the unnecessarily lengthy and theoretical business strategies. The measure of an organization's success is its ability to accomplish set goals. But this can prove to be quite a task because there are so many distractions fighting for everyone's attention at any given time. You might wonder if it is possible to not only accomplish goals, but also to be happy while at it. The answer to this, as evidenced by this summary you're about to read, is yes. By simply focusing on changing the behavior of every employee, an organization's strategy can be transformed. This summary not only focuses on explaining the 4 disciplines of execution, the wildly important act on the lead measures, maintain a compelling scoreboard, and create a cadence of accountability. It also emphasizes the need for employees to remain motivated to work. Keep reading to find out why your organization is yet to achieve a lot more than it has now and all the necessary steps you need to turn things around for the better. Chapter 2. The first step to creating a successful organization is to shut out all the noise and focus on the wildly important goal. The first discipline requires you to focus all your team's efforts on the goal or goals that can have the greatest impact rather than giving average attention to a lot of other goals. Execution begins with focus. This is not an easy task as many leaders often struggle to maintain focus. The fewer goals you focus on, the more likely you are to be successful because science has proven that the human brain can only give full attention to one object at any given time. So, even when you multitask, you're only sacrificing on excellent performance on the most important task. Filter your ideas until you find the main goal or goals. Learning to differentiate your WIG, wildly important goal, from other distracting ideas is an important skill that every leader should have. Applying the WIG to an organization is nearly not as easy as convincing your team to focus on a WIG. The following rules make it easier for this transition to happen. No team should focus on more than 2 WIGs at the same time. The lower-level WIGs must be geared toward achieving the organization's main WIG. Having disjointed WIGs can ruin the effort of a team. Senior leaders can veto but not dictate so that every team member can be involved in decision-making. All WIGs must be measurable and time-bound. They should be made in the form of from X, where the organization is today, to Y, where they want to be. Having a WIG that follows this format spurs team members to action. For instance, President John F. Kennedy announced that NASA had to successfully land a man on the moon before the decade ran out. This made them take practical steps toward getting it done. Chapter 3. Be prepared to nip every unforeseen circumstance in the bud by acting on all the lead measures that could cause them. A lead measure is the measure of the activity that is most connected to achieving the WIG. This is the second and perhaps the most difficult discipline of execution. It is not to be confused with a lag measure that tells you if you've achieved a goal already. For instance, while you cannot control how often equipment breaks down, lag measure, you can control how often that equipment is serviced, lead measure. The more the equipment is routinely serviced, the less likely it is to break down. A lead measure is both predictive and influenceable. But many organizations focus solely on the lag measures because they are easy to measure. Lead measures prevent sudden surprises at work and give the much-needed edge over the competition. Lead measures are usually easy to ignore because they don't stand out as one of the major factors of production. For instance, the advertising department of the Savannah Morning News' WIG was to close a serious revenue gap. But they didn't focus on the lead measures. The moment they fixed their efforts on getting new customers, making reactivation calls, and considering upsell offers, they were able to meet their target. Discovering lead measures can be the difference between profit and loss for an organization. Chapter 4. Visible progress encourages team members to always put in their best. Maintain a compelling scoreboard that everyone can see. A scoreboard shows the progression of events in an organization. This means everyone can see all the progress that the organization is making and know how to make amends. If this is not done, the lead measure can disappear into the whirlwind, the day-to-day activities that are involved in running the organization. The presence of a scoreboard encourages employees to correct their mistakes and improve themselves. This third discipline is not just a board filled with data, but it compels action because people are motivated to win when they see that the organization is keeping score. Characteristics of a compelling scoreboard are simplicity, visibility, ability to show lag and lead measures, ease of interpretation. A scoreboard should be free of jargon and made easy to understand by everyone. It has been proven that the more people share ideas, the more the positive results, and even more importantly, these positive results encourage more engagement. Feedback is an important part of every organization. The scoreboard ensures that everyone knows their duty and follows through with it while observing their progress. Chapter 5. A team's strength is revived when each member can rely on another for support. In spite of the whirlwind in the organization, the fourth discipline, creating a cadence of responsibility, ensures that the goals are met and the people who are supposed to do certain tasks actually do them. This discipline puts your organization in the game. In this discipline, your team meets weekly for 20 to 30-minute WIG sessions. These sessions have a set agenda and are aimed at measuring progress. WIG sessions are an indispensable part of every organization. It allows for regrouping and expression of ideas. There are 3 parts to a WIG session. They are: report on tasks. Every team member gives a report on pre-assigned tasks and shares what they learned. Review the scoreboard. This enables the team to learn from successes and failures. The lead and lag measures are examined and adjusted. Make new plans. Make new commitments and decisions to reach the overall WIG. WIG sessions do not solve problems just by their existence. The rigorous planning, reviews, and reports are what provide solutions. Every commitment made by a team member must influence a lead measure and be geared toward a particular task. It should also not come from a need to follow a routine, but an understanding that a project is dependent on every team member. In an organization, that practices 4DX, 4 disciplines of execution. Accountability means making personal commitments to the entire team and following through in a disciplined way. In May 1996, author John Krakauer tried to climb Mount Everest with a group. But when they encountered obstacles, everyone just did what they wanted, and this resulted in 8 people dying. But when Eric Weihenmayer and his team successfully climbed the same mountain, they ascribed the success to the team's discipline of sticking to the WIG sessions. A WIG session is an important feature to every organization. It is aimed at reviewing the goals, reporting commitments, reviewing the scoreboard, and making new goals. Every team member should be challenged to discover what they can do weekly to impact the lead measures. Successful organizations such as MyCare, producers of Mexico's coal, hold WIG sessions. Every Monday, they hold WIG sessions and develop new ideas while learning from past mistakes. WIG sessions do not magically guarantee success, though. There are still other activities that try to compete with the goal, but the aim of every session is to bring the focus back to the WIG. Chapter 6. Progress is not magic. It is a mix of patience and commitment to the organization's goals. It can be difficult to change human behavior because everyone has a different thought process. In an organization, people generally fall into 3 categories. The first are the resistors, who do not want to make any changes at all. The second are the potentials, who struggle with the idea of change at first, but with proper orientation and monitoring can be won over. The third category includes the models who regularly accept change as it comes and are proactive in their thinking. No matter the team member's category, you need to go through these steps in order to motivate them to be better. Get clear by committing to a new level of performance, setting WIGs, identifying lead measures, getting a scoreboard, and organizing scheduled WIG sessions. Launch the idea to the general public so as to establish the idea. Ensure the team adopts the 4DX process. Optimize WIG sessions and push for more engagement. Encourage the formation of new habits that will lead to a permanent rise in the level of your team's performance. In order to effectively instill the first discipline into the organization, it is important that everyone brainstorms, alone or with a team, on the possibilities available to them. This brainstorming leads to involvement as everyone feels like a part of the decision-making process. Fresh ideas drive creative projects. If you're tired of the same regular projects, you probably haven't brainstormed enough. After a list of WIGs has been made, select the overall WIG and keep the ideas that have a great impact on the organization. It is also important to ensure that these WIGs are measurable and are a reflection of the team so that everyone stays committed to making it work. Goals that cannot be measured often end up abandoned. Carefully set a goal that contains a time frame. Chapter 7. The aim of every team is to have employees that are willing to work. It is important that you act on the lead measures because they predict the possibility of achieving your goal. But this can be difficult, and so many leaders would rather not use them because they are hard to track, counterintuitive, and can be so simple they become easy to ignore. Instilling the lead measures requires the team to brainstorm. You can do this by considering the small things that have the potential to make the biggest impact. Test these ideas to confirm if they're both predictive and influenceable. Then, define them explicitly. Are they measurable? And to what standard? These lead measures can be easy to forget when a project is already underway, but the next discipline, which involves keeping a scoreboard, prevents this. If the scoreboard is to be successful, it is necessary to get everyone involved in it by choosing a theme that not only clearly shows what the organization is tracking, but one that is simple and easy to understand. Also, keep everyone engaged all the time by assigning different team members to it. A scoreboard should not be a source of confusion to the team members, but should instead clarify gray areas. It is not enough that there is a scoreboard in an organization. Everyone needs to be accountable to each other through the WIG sessions. A WIG session has one purpose: to bring back the team's focus on the overall WIG. They should be held at scheduled times, short, and an avenue for the team to report progress, review achievements, and plan for the future. WIG sessions that are haphazardly done can be catastrophic for the organization. Chapter 8. The 4 disciplines of execution are not just unfounded rules. They are practical strategies that have proven effective through the years. Alec Covington, president and CEO of Nash Finch, the second largest publicly traded wholesale food distributor in the U.S., had his team implement 4DX and produced results in 6 months. Does that sound surprising? The 4DX process, if used effectively, can change everything in such a short time. Dave Grisson, president of the Americas for Marriott International, also began implementing 4DX in 8 pilot hotels, and the results were so impressive that they implemented it in 700 hotels in over 2 years. Senior VP of Comcast's Freedom Region, Leanne Tabolt, adopted the 4 disciplines of execution throughout the Chicago region, and in a few years, they were recognized as one of the top 100 workplaces for 2011. These leaders were able to make remarkable progress because they focused on their WIGs. They adopted 4DX as a process and not a one-off event, and they made sure every team was involved, even though a leader was in control of matching all decisions with the organization's overall WIG. The 4 disciplines of execution do not end after one application. It is a continuous process. There's no standard period of time for 4DX to be implemented in an organization. It is important that everyone follows the process patiently. Away from organizations and teams, the 4 disciplines of execution can completely turn your life around. Think about the last time you tried to lose weight, take a course, or balance your family and career. If you were not able to meet these goals, there is no need to beat yourself up about it. 4DX can also be used to achieve life goals. The same principles of focus, leverage, engagement, and accountability apply to every goal you set for yourself. Anything you choose to make of life, 4DX is your best bet. 4DX is not designed for only organizations. All the disciplines can be applied to your personal goals. Conclusion. It really doesn't matter the number of times your organization has failed to accomplish set goals. What matters is your willingness to correct all the previous mistakes and keep trying until you eventually strike gold. The 4 disciplines of execution are not just rules. They are strategies that will produce results if religiously followed. You have one duty: lead the pack. Veer everyone in the direction of the 4DX and be the reason your company experiences more highs than lows in the coming years. Try this. Is there a project your organization is currently working on? Using the 4 disciplines of execution, define the WIG, lead and lag measures, create a scoreboard, and hold WIG sessions weekly.